cash tickets, lottery.
No, I gift like in-game stuff, like video games or whatever, because those are all my friends that I have. Oh, we found a flower.
Socks are like practical, cheap.
Chocolate is a good one if you enjoy chocolate or if the person does.
Cliche, no, everybody does that.
Yeah, apparently everyone gifts socks too. Elvis flowers are
What's more
cute.
useful, chocolate or socks?
Gifts don't have to be useful, but they don't also have to be useless either, like flowers. Hermes likes and dislikes them all at the same time. Like me, they're antileckies. Like me, they feel his pain and turn dark. That's only for Hermes, though. For others, they're always white and bright. How about for us? Like, they're gonna turn dark because I talked about flowers. That's how I feel about them.
Yeah,
Dark.
so. They're gonna turn black.
Yeah, like my soul. Truly, the flower was dark in your home.
It'll just wither.
Yeah. You're the meanest thing ever. Then you have it too, a dark emotion. I've known the pain and sorrow of loss. I felt great fury and frustration. I've been plagued by doubt and anxiety. I dare say I have a few. Okay, this actually makes me think. Yeah, fury and frustration is me. Hermes has felt the same. A fire burning in your breast, a trembling hand, but no one understands. Please, V, won't you lend them to me? Your fury and frustration? Sure, take them away. I want you to make the flower dark in front of Hermes. The hell? He has been in dark places before he created me. He needs to know that he isn't there alone, that others are sad too. She's trying to push us into feeling bad. Fury and frustration. Truly, you'll do it. Yeah, let's go get furious in front of Hermes. I don't know what I prefer, and I don't know what other people prefer. Like the two types of gifts that I gift are either like techie stuff, like stuff for their PCs or whatever, or in-game stuff, or food, like real food, not chocolate. Thank you. It means more to me than I can say. I can't wait to see how Hermes reacts. Let's go back and fetch him. So our gift to him is us feeling bad so that he feels better about himself.
Basically.
It's so disturbing.
He doesn't want to be alone. He wants shared misery.
What if we can't get miserable? What if we're too happy?
Misery needs company, apparently.
Apparently. This is not dark. This is purple. This is not black.
You're not the only one, Hermes. Others feel sad too. You're not alone.
I have a feeling chat thinks I'm spoiling key moments with my corny jokes. I do pay attention though.
I see Meteon has shared much with you.
They're not really black. They're a purple. Poor Hermes, though. Wait, why does he... Oh!
May we talk a moment?
Oh, wow. Wow, he actually shows himself.
Yes, who was?
He's so gorgeous. Everyone's gorgeous. Why did they draw them so nicely? Oh!
Convocation members being all hot.
Yeah.
I do not think it wrong that we live for the star, that we strive to make it a better place. And yet, in carrying out my duties here, there are times when I am plagued by doubt. Do you recall what Hythlodaeus said when we first spoke of my nomination? Death is the privilege of those who have fulfilled their purpose. a choice they embrace of their own free will. And when they depart, it is always beautiful.
They choose when it's time to die, like a retirement? Huh.
Perhaps it is. But only for man. Creations that he deems useless are discarded with nary a second thought.
I love how big his heart is.
Some scarcely born into the world, afforded a handful of breaths before life and potential are abruptly extinguished.
Like, I love how much he feels for, for the creations. He doesn't deem them, like, less worthy or anything.
We make an effort to spare them the pain. They sense what awaits. Rage and anguish and cower and fear. And it is not beautiful. So fixated are we upon the duty that we do not pause to question the method.
Man, if I was a guy, this is where I'd go by for sure. Luckily, I'm past that point.
Confusion and despair writ plain in the eyes of those poor creatures. Yet no one sees. We turn a blind eye and carry on in blissful ignorance. Not amiss. And always, always the blossoms shine pure and white. A contradiction so blatant I could scream, want to scream. How can you all accept this aberration?
Like, imagine how long he's been harboring these feelings. It must be so tough. Because, like, no one else obviously sees past this, and no one really kind of shares what... It's just so tough.
And I wonder, am I the aberration for thinking thus? And I am filled with dread. But now I know I'm not alone. Not the only one for whom the flowers weep. Owen asked what you thought as you kneeled beside the Alpes. Or if you only did it at Meteon's insistence. Nevertheless, I thank you.
It looks like our gift was actually the right one.
To know that you too have experienced suffering is a comfort.
This is actually so true that it's painful how good they are at demonstrating these moments. Like, the way you can feel so much better, not because someone else has suffered, but because you're kind of not alone with it, with like your own feelings. And even though like your feelings and like the other person's feelings maybe come from a different place or like a different situation or whatever, you can kind of still relate to that. And isn't it funny how people find it comforting, like when they meet someone who's also like in pain, and how he can't kind of find anyone to relate with because they're not in pain. But like when he's with someone who has been through pain, he's not in pain anymore. Like, how beautiful was this story told, right? Wow. Like the way they kind of, wrapped it around a flower. It's just like, you feel that this is not just someone, writing the script for a game. This is so carefully written and so relatable. It's like, he's not trying to say anything bad. Glad I could be of service. Let's have no more brooding. I could tell you all about suffering. Yeah, I'm gonna go with the third one. It's the best one. Which one did you pick?
Lest you misunderstand, I derive no pleasure from your pain.
Which one?
I was gonna go with the first one, but I'm gonna go with the second one.
Yeah, it is a connection, and that's... is it not just weird and wonderful how people can connect just by knowing that like someone else has been hurt too? It's like, if you've been through stuff, at some point you're not even gonna be able to connect with people who haven't been through stuff. And like the more stuff you've been through, the more excluded you're going to feel, because you can't find anyone who will understand the depths of like what you've been through and who you are. And like once you do, you just like hold on to that person as strong as you can, and you never let them go, because you know that, because you understand them, and that's sometimes even more rewarding than them understanding you back, because you feel like there are things for you to discover. You don't feel like the moment you scratch the surface of their lives or their story or whatever, that's it, and that's who they are. In some weird way, the pain they have felt gives them depth, and that's just so beautiful, isn't it? Nothing can really compare to that when you meet people through that way. And that's why even some of these like groups where people go for like support and grief or whatever, like some of the most wonderful relationships and friendships are made there, because people don't wallow in their grief when they're with someone who has been through grief as well, but like they just feel like they don't have to hide their baggage in front of others. And just the fact that you don't have to hide yourself and just pretend that you're someone who you're not, it's just like that pain it feels like the pain actually unlocks like a certain amount of understanding that people can show for you and that you can show for them back. And you can love those people so hard for that, for the fact that you don't have to hide anything in front of them. It's like the best love, isn't it? What a great quest.
It's just the fact that you are still here in spite
Yeah,
of your
I think so.
suffering gives me heart.
Connection makes it like
Yeah,
more real, I guess.
it does. Absolutely. Because you can never connect with anyone else in that sort of way. It's like almost like if you're in pain, it just sounds so sick and weird for someone who hasn't been through it, but like if you go through something, you're gonna somehow be naturally inclined to attach yourself to people who have been through kind of the same amount of stuff. And I think that's what, like, as you go through life, I guess that's what makes these connections more real than the ones that you will make when people around you aren't really hurt. Like when you're really young. Is it weird to assume that pain like that you go through is actually what helps you find people who you want to connect to? Because when you're all unhurt, there is no way for you to know like who you would kind of best connect to. I don't know if I'm making any sense right now. It's like you can make a better selection of people in your life later on when you can get that out of someone. Not that that's the only thing that matters, but
Well, it doesn't just have to like go with pain. It could be just like any life experience, right?
yeah, it doesn't have to be, no, not necessarily pain, just relatability. But pain is something that people naturally just kind of, try to find relatability with. Is that
A coping mechanism.
Yes, definitely. And it's not the only thing that connects people. It's a prerequisite of a sort. Like when you go through stuff, that just like unlocks the possibility for people to get along better. I don't know, it's just what I think, but
The stars in the heavens. Know you what they are? Though it is too far to tell, each glittering light could be a world not unlike Aetheris. A world filled with life. So many stars, so many lives. For us, there may be no higher purpose than to live for our world. But what of the other living beings out there? What is it that gives their lives meaning? That drives them day after day after day? To pose that question to our undiscovered cousins, I created beings of dynamis, who can traverse the vast emptiness between the stars. Meteon and her sisters. Aye, sisters.
Wait, she has
She
sisters?
has a great many of them. And they have already departed on their journey,
I'm
traveling
not
to
there yet.
one star and then the next in search of life.
Oh wow! So wait, so that means that she's like not the first one of his creations like this? Is that what he's trying to say? But I thought, like, from the whole quest line, from what I understood, Hermes, I thought she was the first one that was created. Maybe now he's admitting that there's more of them, but I don't think that this is information that we had, right?
As one might expect.
So I guess there is.
Exploration on such a grand scale is rife with difficulties, and thus far I've naught to show for it.
So it feels like he was sending like little satellites into space to like record stuff out there. Oh, this is the first time I hear there are more. Okay. I wonder if we get to meet them.
But I
Ever.
have faith that we will make some manner of discovery ere long.
I wonder if he was like hiding them and if Meteos was like the first one where he got caught, so he had to like show her to people.
And when we do, I should be glad to share our findings with you, in gratitude for your kindness.
Bad.
It's getting rather late. We had best find our beds. It would not do for both of us to be sleep deprived on the morrow.
Oh, tell me about sleep deprivation.
Come, Meteon.
Right, you
Let's
would
head
know,
back.
Definitely.
Yeah.
All right.
And the only way you will get so sappy in front of someone is if you're sleep deprived, for sure. Well, yeah. Why would we get a mention of them if we are not gonna meet them?